The number one question on YouTube is, what lenses do I buy? So I've been a big collector of lenses for many years now. I have used everything from micro four thirds to EF mount to PL mounts. PL mount being mostly what I use when I'm going to rent something like the Arri Alexa or the Red camera. But today I'm going to focus mostly on the EF mount lenses. So with all kinds of EF mount lenses out there, the big question is, which one do I choose? What's best for me? So I have many, most everything here is going to be prime lenses. Prime lenses, prime lenses, prime lenses, and these two back here are zoom lenses. So you ask me, for video work, I really like prime lenses, and it's all about what works for you. I do a lot of interviews, so I can get by with prime lenses. I shoot a lot of short films and things like that, which I can also use prime lenses. They're great for really structured videography work. And I'm putting the camera here. Maybe I change the lens. Maybe I have two cameras. I use two different lenses. That's easy for me. But maybe I'm run and gun. Maybe I gotta run around and do some behind the scenes, some kind of video work like that. You may have seen some of my other videos. I'll put one up here, ding, the MoMA video that I did before. And that's a little behind the scenes of a run and gun shoot I did, which was a live event, a live music event. So I had to be able to zoom very quickly and or zoom out very quickly and be able to capture those shots, because I only got one chance at it. After that, I don't get a second chance. So these two lenses here, this Canon EF mount 70 to 200 USM 2 L series lens. This fantastic lens, sharp. Why the 2.8? Because it gets that extra stop of light. Sometimes you need that extra stop of light, bonus. And then my other one is the 24 to 70, the USM L series 2, 24 to 70, also a 2.8. Love this lens. An added bonus to these lenses, if I put it on the Pocket Cinema Camera 4K and I use the Metabone Speed Booster, I get an extra stop of light. That's very beneficial. One more zoom lens I really want in my kit, but I have not purchased yet, is the Canon 16 to 35, which is also a 2.8, I believe. It's another L series lens. But I really love these lenses for the quickness of them. If I really got to zoom in quickly, if I've got to get far zoom, this is usually what I'm going to use on my run and gun shoots. Everything else is a little more structured, short films, like I say, maybe documentaries and documentary interviews, let's say. If I'm capturing live events in a documentary, I'm going to go with my Canon zooms. But I have another thing here, is the Canon USM full frame lenses. And everything on this table is full frame, so I don't have APS-C lenses. I don't believe in keeping APS-C lenses in my kit. I don't really understand why you would. I understand crop factors and things like that, but I don't understand, because eventually there's always the saying, you marry your lenses, you only date the body. So a body you're going to sell eventually, but the lenses are still going to carry on to your next camera. So if I get rid of my APS-C camera and I get a full frame like the Canon 5Ds, then I'm going to be set because I've already got full frame lenses. So I always kind of recommend just get the full frame, deal with the crop, get a wider angle lens if you can. Something like that 16 to 35 would be fine on a crop sensor. Or primes like this 20 millimeter is great on my Super 35s. It's been great also on my APS-Cs and my Micro Four Thirds cameras, stuff like the Blackmagic cinema camera. Or this 14, these Samyangs are some great lenses for the money. They're honestly not much cheaper than these Canon USM full frame lenses. Maybe $50 cheaper, close to the same price depending on what size. I know these vary, like maybe this is about $400 lens new at the 20 millimeter. The 50 is maybe a little bit cheaper, I think around $350, $380, and then the 85 is about $450, something like that. That's why I have in my kit, you know, at least a standard-ish kind of prime set there. But if you need to go a little bit wider, Canon makes some wider lenses, but I don't have them. I do have, like I said, the Samyang, the Rokinon 14 mil over here, which is good if I need to get that super wide or if I'm on a crop sensor. But if I'm using a speed booster, it's still gonna probably act more like a 16 to 18 millimeter on a Micro Four Thirds. So those are the Canons. Those are my Canons. Let's go back over here to my other primes. These are my Samyangs. So I have a variety of the Samyang. I have the Xeen lenses, the big cinema lenses. Since I shoot a lot of cinema video stuff, I prefer cinema lenses just because of the ring. I hate ring attachments on lenses. I absolutely hate, like this one here. You're not going to see at this distance, but this focal ring here is giving way. And I contribute that all to adding the zip style follow focus rings on that. There have been companies out there that'll make better ones, but when you tighten that down, eventually you just put stress on that focal ring. The autofocus works perfectly well. There's no problem with the autofocus, but the ring itself to do manual focus, that's completely trash now. So I've given up on buying photography lenses and putting rings on them and follow focus and things like that. I'm just going to do it by hand instead of trying to follow focus. If I have to do run and gun, if I'm running and gunning, why have a follow focus anyways? Just do it by hand. These guys, as you can see, the rings on them are way bigger than this focus ring, so I can get a better grip to be able to focus very quickly. And the same with the 24 to 70, very big grip there, which is easy to focus. So I'm not going to put any rings on that because these are very expensive lenses. And if you put those rings on them, like I said, it's going to wear this out, and then you're going to be sending that in for a big repair. And I'm not into big repairs on $1,000, $1,500 lenses compared to maybe, you know, $400 lens. I can justify the price a little bit more. So I love cinema lenses because of the focus itself. Samyang Xeen lenses are very good lenses for the budget, but do I prefer them over the compact primes? No, I do not. A couple reasons are the color tones on these I don't really enjoy, and They're not quite accurate in the f-stop. I think they're a little, maybe a stop over. So if my f-stop is reading at a 4 on my meter, I'm going to set these to probably about a 5.6. Another thing is they're not very sharp at its wide open mark. These go up to a 1.5 f-stop, and they're just not as sharp at a 1.5, so you always got to stop them down to a 2 anyways. Another thing is the focus marks are not accurate. They do some funky things at infinity range depending on your f-stop. You really have to stop these down to actually get a true infinity, so it doesn't really work for you in a low light situation. During the day, it's fine, but if you have to really open these guys up, they're not going to be as crisp, and the focus is not going to be as sharp, especially at the infinity. The beauty about these Carl Zeiss compact primes is they're crisp no matter where you're at. They're completely sharp at a 2.1 to a 22. So it doesn't matter what your f-stop is, they're going to be crystal sharp. Another great thing about these guys is the color and the accuracy of the focal length. When you measure this out from your sensor and you're 5 feet away and you've got 5 feet on a measurement, you can guarantee that you're going to stop this at 5 feet and your focus is going to be perfect with this. Not so much with these guys. I've taken some measurements on these. I've noticed that the focus ring does not actually match the focus. I don't know if that has to do with the mount and how close to the sensor that this is. You can kind of see here a little bit, maybe, that this one's a little bit deeper than this. So that takes this glass a little bit further away from this sensor compared to this one. So it might just be the way that they're made. I have tested these on things like the Blackmagic cinema camera, the old school Blackmagic cinema camera, and the focus marks are just fine on that camera. They just don't work on the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K. I did not test these on the 4K because with the Metabones, maybe that gives you enough distance from the sensor to make the focus marks more accurate. But the other beauty about the Carl Zeiss compact primes is if you measure it out to be an f-stop of f4, it's going to be an f4. Same thing with the Canon glass. It's not going to look just a little bit brighter, which I feel like these guys look just a tad bit brighter on the aperture. So, but you don't have to take my word for it. I shot video with all these lenses and you can see for yourself. This is a great reference video to kind of see focal view and also to see skin tones and exposure and see what lenses are a little bit different than other lenses. We got some bokeh going on so you can see the quality of the bokeh. I have to say that the bokeh is pretty good on all these lenses here. But I think the bokeh is the greatest on the Carl Zeiss. I think the aperture is the best on the Carl Zeiss, and I believe the skin tones are somewhere in this area of my favorite lenses. But that's not for me to tell you, it's for you to decide. That's why I make these videos. I like for you to see the difference, hear the difference in all this kind of equipment, and then you can make the decision what you may want to go with. On the cheaper end, do you want to go with these prime sets? Yeah, why not? If you really want to get somewhere in the middle and the zooms or do something that can do both things for you, the Canon zooms are going to be it. So without any more, let's watch this video and then you can tell me what you think. What lenses do you like? You can tell me that in the comments and I'll give you a thumbs up or thumbs down. Thanks for watching my video. Hit that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs down, tell me what you think about this video, and we'll make more videos in the future using all these lenses, and stay tuned for some more behind the scenes of some of the commercial work that we do. So we'll check you on the next video.